Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, I'm not going to be thanking the car dealership where I got this car. The owner of this 1953 Corvette Restomod Replica was kind enough to loan it to me for the day, and we're going to talk all about it. It is a replica. It's basically what some would call a kit car, but not exactly. Typically when you get a kit car, it's just a big model is all it is. Everything comes from one shop and it's all the parts and pieces that you need to put it together. But in the case of this C1, as it was known, which went from 1953 through 1955, there are parts and pieces from literally all over the place. The frame came from San Francisco, the body came from a shop in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that is no longer open, as did many other parts from all over the country. And one of the ways you know that these parts are original, as many of them are, they're not recreated from previously made parts to make it look original, is you can look at the chrome, and if it's pitted, you know that it's the real thing. It's the original, and there is a lot of that on here. Everything is basically original as far as the chrome and a lot of different things go. So we're going to take a close-up look at this Corvette today and talk about what you would have had in your driveway if this was something you purchased originally in the 1953 through 1955 model years. And one thing about it, while this is a replica, and I know there's enthusiasts out there that might say, oh, hardcore Corvette enthusiasts aren't going to like that. Well, that's not who's really building this car, buying this car, I should say. This car is actually for sale, by the way. I'll leave some details down in the description of the video for those who might be interested. But think about it this way. It's going to cost a whole lot less to have something like this to not only sit in your garage, but also to drive, and it won't be as expensive to repair anything if anything unusual happens to take place with it. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about the front end here. Mainly the grille. This is an original grille, like I said, and of course the grille is comprised of the surround that surrounds the teeth that are in the middle. And on the 1953, how many of those teeth were there? 13. On later models of the C1 Corvette and other Corvette models, they reduced that number, but that's what they had basically. A lot of chrome here, and I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but it does have that pitted look. It is original. And these little wires right here, that was meant to keep rocks and stuff like that out of the headlights. And as you can see, you've got the headlights and the running lights. There were indeed working running lights here on these 53 Corvettes back in their original day. But talking about the wires right here, that is actually racing technology. That's what it was inspired from in 1953. Now, looking up onto the hood, the scoop here, that was an option. And it's a very interesting thing that there were two options available on these Corvettes that you had to buy. They were not factory installed equipment. What were those two things? It was the heat and the radio. In 1953, the Corvette came with a 3.8-liter straight six, producing an almighty 150 horsepower. The 0 to 60, 11.5 seconds, with a top speed of 105 miles per hour. Of course, that is not the engine seen in the Corvette we are looking at in the video today. This particular model comes with a 400 cubic inch small block, putting out 300 horsepower. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about the interior. Obviously, one thing you're going to notice very quickly, one mirror right here. It wasn't power, you adjusted it by hand, required on the driver's side, but not on the passenger side. So just a little bit of interesting information. Definitely interesting to just reach out there and just do that. Makes me feel like I'm many years in the past. I've never owned a vehicle where I had to do that, but I find that very interesting. The speedometer is original, and I hope on the screen you can actually see the odometer on there. That wasn't changed or manipulated or anything like that. That is the original mileage that was on this particular odometer that came with this speedometer in this Corvette. The interior, the seats and the eyebrow came from Al Nock, so not original, but it looks original. The door panels, however, are original, and you can see that they were a very different setup here as far as the door handles go, and there were no exterior door handles on these cars originally. Kind of an interesting little note of information as well. Now, if you look across the dashboard, obviously, well, that radio is not one of those original optional radios that you could pay for. Not period correct, but not a big deal. It is what it is. You also have the dash rear view mirror here, something that was commonplace in the 50s and 60s. It wasn't mounted up high like we're used to now. It was actually mounted here on the dashboard itself. Now, this particular Corvette doesn't have a top with it, so the top's not just down, it's just not here. Those are a little bit on the pricey side, and at this point, the owner has decided not to pick one up. But I will tell you this. This Corvette is like pretty much all Corvettes. If you don't know exactly how to get in and out, it can be a little bit of a challenge, especially the fact, even though it's not as low to the ground as our modern day Corvettes and as they have been for several generations, still, it's a little bit of a narrow opening. And I'm showing you on your screen right now the easiest way to get in and out. Originally, the 53 Corvette came with a 2-speed power glide, a very common transmission in the sport of drag racing, especially in the sportsman classes these days. This particular Corvette has a 700R4 gangster transmission. And while I didn't talk about it when I was sitting in the interior, no, the position of the shifter in this one is not in the original spot, and it most certainly doesn't look like those original shifters did. Now, before we talk about the trunk, if you watch me regularly, I usually give you multiple options on how you can open the trunk on the cars I typically get from the dealerships. Well, that wasn't the case on the C1 Corvette. There was one option, and it's way down here. You had to be awfully short, I would imagine, to have an easy time getting to that. That's why I'm squatted down like I am. It was here underneath the bumper. That's where the keyhole was. It wasn't up here in a convenient to reach location. So let's take a look at what the interior of the trunk would have looked like in 1953. There are some changes here from the original. It's not the original interior, not set up as the original 53 was, just because there's a lot of parts and pieces that were not available for the owner to add to this one. But he did kind of MacGyver things together, so to speak, including a system to lift the trunk up itself, almost like one of my favorite features, again, if you watch me regularly, on the hood of a lot of higher-end vehicles, those struts that automatically raise the hood. There's a similar system that he installed here, and also a system to actually hold it up in place. Now, on the original 53 Corvettes, there was a spare tire found here underneath the floor. You just lifted that up, basically. But one of the neat advantages when you have to kind of MacGyver your way through things, so to speak, and maybe it's not completely original, is there's a little storage pocket right back here underneath the floor. You just lift that up and you can see that you can fit a large size wrench or a lot of whatever you can fit in there in this particular model. That's not something that was original, kind of a hinged system, so to speak, that the owner decided to put into this model himself. And this is basically the original cover for the license plate as well. This is the way they came back then. So a very interesting little piece of history, something you definitely don't see coming from the factory on cars in this day and age. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about some more original parts on this particular 53 Corvette that we're looking at today. That would be the tail lights. Now, they aren't both from the same original 53 Corvette. One is obviously a little more worn than the other, but if you can see it on your screen, and I hope that I got it, they actually do say 53 on them. Those are original parts and pieces. And when you look at the fins and just the fit and finish of the overall body, it's not perfect, but that's the way it was in 1953 because this was Chevrolet's first attempt at working with fiberglass, and things just did not fit perfectly in those days. And so having the body fit together like it does, you can see some of the gaps and different irregularities on this particular 53 that actually fit the era. That's the way it was. If you made everything fit perfectly, that would actually ruin the value because that's not the way these cars originally came. Okay guys, that's it for our quick tour of the 53 Corvette Restomod Replica. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you next time on Vehicle Visionary.